Persuade someone before.
No. I'm not here to persuade you of nothing.
You're not?
Very simple. No. I don't know who you are. What do you believe?
Well, don't you want to persuade me? I don't know.
Why? I don't know who. What do you believe? Are you Christian?
No.
Are you an atheist?
I would say Jewish by background, but non-religious.
Most of the time,
what I'm explaining to him, that his ancestors, they were protected and survived the Christian onslaught in Europe for 800 years. The golden age of Jewry was at that time. It's where your civilization flourished. And when it came for the time when the Queen Isabella and Ferdinand returned, and they pushed the Muslims out of Spain, what did you guys do?
Yes.
No, what did you do? Tell everyone what you said.
We had no option but to leave.
No, what did you do?
We went to Muslim countries.
No, you asked the Muslims, can we come with you?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say Israel's plan is to kill every single person in Gaza.
Was it? No, just to drive them away.
What do you mean drive them away?
I don't know how. Who knows the plan? I don't know.
You just made that up though.
I don't know the plan.
To drive. Okay. So,
I don't know the plan. All I know is that they use any excuse of self-defense to kill people, men, women, and children, and it's acted like it's a war when it's not. It's killing. It's genocide. Quran that he's come with is from God, and then when I read the Quran and the Quran makes the claims, it is indeed from God. When the Quran reminds us of the past, guidance for the present, and warns us of the future, and the guidance within Islam fits 21st century man like a glove, like nothing else does. The only man in history who ever claimed to come for the whole world was Muhammad. No other messenger from God ever made that claim. So I'm an Englishman. Why would I need to listen to Jesus, for example, when his message wasn't for the whole world? His message was for the children of Israel, as he declared, according to their scripture.
Right.
So the only one I need to listen to is Muhammad, and is he telling the truth or not? And obviously after the intellect investigation, you come to the conclusion, well, actually, he was known for 40 years as a truthful one. Why would he lie? What would his motivation be? Then you look at, well, even if he had the motivation to do so, did he have the capacity to do what he's accused of? Did he have the capacity to come up with the Quran over 23 years as an illiterate man? Nah, probably not. And then we see the preservation in the Quran and how Allah says in the Quran will preserve it, and inshallah, alhamdulillah, 1400 years later we have a preserved book. So which part of that would you try to challenge?
So I'm guessing one of the central claims would be that the Quran could not have come from Muhammad.
Yes.
So are you saying it's impossible?
Yes.
So impossible why?
I don't believe he had the capacity to do it.
Not just very, 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 very unlikely, right? You would have to go with impossible.
Yeah, I would go with impossible.
Right. So why?
Because we believe he's an illiterate man.
But the Quran wasn't. He didn't. No one claims that he wrote it. He spoke it.
He authored it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, illiterate would mean he can't read.
Well, where'd you get the information from to recite? For example, if you
he was a smart man, I'm assuming. He was
How did he know what the oral traditions of the Jews and the apocryphal books of the Christians and the Old and New Testament?
They weren't Jews in Arabia?
No, how did he know them?
Were they not around?
Well, there's no Arabian Old Testament.
But there were Jews in Arabia, many Jewish tribes, right? And there were Christian tribes.
So if he was taking secret teachers, the people around him would have seen him doing this.
Right. Well, he just heard stuff, picked stuff up, right? Wasn't he?
He just heard stuff over 23 years and regurgitated.
A business person? Didn't he involve? Wasn't that his job?
What's that?
His job?
What?
Wasn't he like a tradesman? Like, did he trade? I mean, I'm no expert.
Yeah, you're trying to tell me like you're an expert.
No,
you seem to know.
I'm asking.
You seem to know.
What was his
I think he used to. If I'm not wrong, he used to herd the sheep for his wife Khadija.
Right. Didn't he marry a rich businesswoman?
Yes.
So okay. I mean, I don't know.
So what does that have to do with it?
Couldn't you? Well, I could just say it's possible that he authored the Quran. Not even very likely at all. But you'd have to say no. It's literally impossible.
No. It's very, very simple. In life, we deal with probabilities, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know it's possible for you to walk through a wall if all of your atoms lined up with that atoms of that wall. You could walk through it. It's possible. Would you agree?
Yes, we've never had any experience of that, whereas people writing books, we have had.
Is it possible? Possible.
Right, but we have experience of writing books.
No, but is it possible?
Yeah, sure.
Right, so that's not impossible. Okay. So the point here is this: I would have to put everything on its merit. So I'd have to ask myself, why is this guy making this stuff up? Why is he pretending that he's a messenger of God?
Right.
Why is he lying? Why is he taking persecution for it?
Right.
Why are the people that follow him suffering for it? If he was getting this secret information, why did nobody around him say, hey, he's getting that information there? Why did none of his enemies say that? Why when the poets were sent to listen to the Quran, they came back and said this is sorcery? Why did they think that the Quran was supernatural?
That they thought the Quran was sorcery.
Because they'd never heard Arabic like it.
Right.
They'd never heard Arabic like exquisite as that.
Right.
From an illiterate man.
So I know the Quran has a challenge in it.
Produce something like it.
A chapter like
For the Arabs.
Right.
And for you, find the contradictions and errors.
Right. Well, it didn't have contradictions.
I think so.
Are you guys? Sorry. I think he's having a general chat.
No, I think he's baiting me.
So I'm not sure I really buy the seriousness of the challenge.
Who cares?
Because I don't know what that even means. I'm not sure anyone. Because
you don't know what it means.
Quran, or the challenge of bring a chapter like
Well, that's for the Arabs.
What does that mean, like it?
I don't know. Produce something in the way it's produced with style, meaning, and grammar, the way the Quran has been done. Right. I don't know. The challenge is for the Arab poets, not me.
But wouldn't you never? You'll never accept it, right? If an Arab poet did write something,
well, I don't know. Have they tried?
People thought was beautiful.
Have they tried? There's plenty of Arab Christians.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No, that's what I mean. The challenge isn't.
Well, I'm sure they'd be shouting from the rooftops if they had produced something like it.
Right. But I just imagine.
You can imagine as you like.
You're not going to accept it anyway.
You can imagine what you like.
Right.
Who cares what you imagine?
Well, I mean, the challenge itself. I'm trying to understand where the challenge is really coming from.
Who cares whether you understand where the challenge is coming from? Because you're not an Arab, and the challenge is not for you.
No.
Go ask the Arab Christians, have you met the challenge?
Right. Well, they may say yes, and you're obviously going to say no.
Well, you could ask how they've met the challenge, and we can see whether they have met the challenge or not. Like I said, I'm not an Arab. That challenge is not for me. My challenge is this: find the errors and contradictions.
So let's say I said there were no contradictions in it. That doesn't mean it's obviously from, I'm not going to mean, okay, well, it's from God, because it has no contradictions.
Yeah. Right. So I believe the Prophet had revelation from an angel, received that revelation over 23 years, claiming to be from God. Right. I believe that. Standard.
Right. But I mean, are you saying he couldn't have authored a word or a sentence, a chapter?
I believe what he said, he did.
Right. I'm just trying to get into this, because I've heard this argument before about...
It's not an argument.
Okay.
You're asking me why I believe a certain thing,
I've heard
and I'm telling you.
I've heard you want to use the word argument, I've heard the series of statements put forward to persuade someone before.
No. I'm not here to persuade you of nothing.
You're not?
A very simple... No. I don't know who you are. What do you believe?
Well, don't you want to persuade me? I don't know.
Why? I don't know. What do you believe? Are you Christian?
No.
Are you an atheist?
I would say Jewish by background, but non-religious.
Right. Do you believe in God?
More likely yes than no.
More likely yes than no?
Yes.
That's fair enough. Okay. So you're asking me why I believe something to be true. Now, if you want to make claims that, he did this and he did that and he could have done that and this whatever, produce your evidence. And then the lightning bolt. But it's just assumptions. It's just your claims. Yeah. His enemies didn't say what you're saying, you see.
Right.
So we got to ascertain why his enemies didn't say these things you're saying.
Right.
Why did when the poets were sent, why did they come back thinking this Quran was sorcery? Why is it when we hear the Quran recited and we hear Arabic recited, it sounds completely different? We know when we hear a hadith in Arabic and we hear the Quran in Arabic, we know which is Quran. Why is this?
I mean, I don't know.
How did the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, in 23 years, come up with this Quran in such a way, making it rhyme, making claims with regards to the people of the past, talking about other religions, where's he getting the information from? And then how is he orchestrating and mashing it around in his brain?
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand the point you're making. It's just a much bigger leap for me to be like, well, could he possibly have heard it? Because he was a human being. He was
over 23 years. He heard it.
Heard what? I mean, what couldn't he have possibly ever
have you ever
heard
studied
or
the
imagined?
Challenge? Okay, you know what's probably good for you?
I'm not an expert, obviously.
No. There's a book called The Eternal Challenge, written by a brother called Abu Zakaria.
Okay.
That might be a very good book for you to read. So that goes through the claim of the Quran.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard other Muslims make the
but there's a book called The Eternal Challenge.
Sure.
So if you read that book, that will make you understand more why it's believed to be what it's claimed to be.
Right.
Now, what takes things further is what does Islam teach And it seems that the author of the Quran seems to know human beings better than we know ourselves. Knows what harms us, knows what benefits us, knows what to stay away from, what to run towards.
Right.
Yeah. For me, that's uncanny in the 21st century that a book written 1400 years ago can fit me and my lifestyle like a glove today, like nothing else can.
I don't know whether that impresses me too much. I mean,
well, it's up to you.
They were still humans back then, 1400 years ago, like us. They had many of the same basic problems, right?
No, we'll talk about the guidance of the do's and the don'ts, if you like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like moral laws.
Yes. So in Islam, we get through God, we get the objective morality.
Yeah, but you'd agree that wasn't. I don't know how much new there is morally in Islam compared to Christianity, Judaism, what in those books.
You don't know?
Morally? Well, I'm assuming 10 Commandments, right? The basics.
Well, everything. I'm talking about in Islam.
Yeah.
It's a full way of life. Everything we do, the way we use a toilet.
Oh, of course.
The way we socialise with our families, the way we interact with people, the way we do business, the way we interact in society.
No, of course.
Yeah. The way we deal with the poisons within society, the drugs, the alcohol, the gambling. You guys are endorsing it. You guys are loving it. Your Jewish ancestors will not deal in usury amongst yourselves, but you'll do it with the goyim. You'll do it with the non-Jews. It's not a problem.
Sure.
Yeah. You'll forgive the debts of your fellow Jews, but you don't forgive the debts of the goyim. We know this. This is the reality.
Right.
Okay. So in Islam, we don't deal in usury either.
No, yeah.
But across the board, we don't. It's not ethno. Yeah. Beautiful thing about Islam, it unites everybody. It unites classes. It unites sexes. It unites nationalities, and even religions. Because your Jewish ancestors, even though you're not a practicing, your Jewish ancestors only survived because of the Muslims in Andalusia. Because the Christians were wiping you out, and who protected you for 800 years? The Muslims.
Well, okay, I'm not going to talk about history. Obviously,
no, I am.
There were good parts and there were bad parts.
No, I am. No, I'm telling you about history. For 800 years, the Jews would have been wiped out if it were not for the Muslim protection.
And there were bad parts where they got along.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure you're aware. I mean, I've heard.
See, these guys know.
Okay.
You guys know, don't you? You know that if it wasn't for Islam, you guys would have been wiped out in Europe.
We are grateful for the many good parts that when Muslims gave us a safe haven. At the same time, we can't forget the other parts.
But let's just say safe haven. We're talking 800 years.
800 years in certain countries. Let's keep it in context.
Yeah, Andalusia.
In context. That means that we had great
in which
times
country?
in Spain.
In which country?
Spain.
Well, it wasn't a country, was it? What was it? It was the Islamic State.
Yeah, it was an Islamic State.
So within the Islamic State...
But let's not forget that the same period you had many Islamic countries, not the Islamic State, many
we're talking... No, but
like Morocco and
you want to talk... Well,
let's go into detail. Let's focus on the good part. The good part is most of the time we had a great time.
What I'm explaining to him, that his ancestors, they were protected and survived the Christian onslaught in Europe for 800 years. The golden age of Jewry was at that time. It's where your civilization flourished. And when it came for the time when the Queen Isabella and Ferdinand returned and they pushed the Muslims out of Spain, what did you guys do?
Yes.
No, what did you do? Tell everyone what you said.
We had no option but to leave.
No, what did you do?
We went to Muslim countries.
No, you asked the Muslims, can we come with you? Because the Muslims retreated back to Morocco and give the jizya back, said we can't protect you no more, and come with us. And invited them to come to Morocco. And that's where they got sanctuary from what was going on.
The simple fact is this. On the link history, we had great times under Muslim rule.
Islamic State is the key words we're using here, not Muslim country. Islamic State. Under the state,
and again, under the Ottoman
Empire. Disputing any of this.
As well as under the Ottoman Empire. But yes, history is dotted, sadly, that the Muslims suffered as well on the many.
Muslims are suffering today in Israel.
I'm talking about Muslims on the Muslim countries as well.
No, I'm talking about Muslims in Israel. They're suffering.
Now we're going into politics. Let's leave that.
They're suffering the least that they suffer in any other Muslim country.
Say it again, sorry?
They're suffering the least that they
Tell that to the people in Gaza.
What?
Tell that to the people of Gaza.
Compare them to how Muslims are suffering in different
Okay, compare that to the Muslims in Morocco.
I'm telling you highlighted Israel.
What you just said is that the Muslims are suffering less in Gaza than anywhere else in the world.
Not anywhere less.
Where?
I just said you picked up Israel as an example where Muslims are suffering, whilst there are many, many more Muslims suffering in Islamic countries.
Than Gaza?
I don't know, more or less, but there's millions of Muslims.
The world's biggest prison, Gaza.
It's not a prison.
Perpetrated.
It is a prison.
Perpetrated by
sorry.
countries.
It's not a prison. Can they leave the country?
there's a reason.
Can they leave the country?
The question, okay,
can they leave the country? Can I fly to Gaza? No, I understand that. Can I fly to Gaza?
You were looking for an example where Muslims are suffering.
No.
And for some reason, from the entire Middle East, where in most Middle Eastern countries Muslims are suffering from Muslims, you picked up where a small minority are suffering from Jews. So
yes.
It's quite a strange thing.
I do not believe Gaza is a small minority.
It is.
But
I believe it's men, women and children in an open-air prison.
But with who? And that's the focus as well. They're prisoned by who? One side Israel, one side? One side Israel, one side?
It's Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt. And who's telling Egypt what to do?
Oh, they listen to me.
Why is Egypt not telling Israel what to do?
Well, who controls that area?
What do you mean? Israel can't tell Egypt what to do.
Israel can't tell Egypt what to do.
It's in their benefit. It's in their benefit to keep the border shut there.
Why?
It's in their benefit because they don't want the people from Gaza to come into Egypt.
Oh, okay. Can I fly to Gaza? No.
What do you mean? You can get into Gaza if you get a pyramid, yes.
There's a proper...
No, can I fly into Gaza? Gaza airport?
Through an airport?
No.
Right. Can I go by boat into Gaza?
Let me ask you, can you fly into Kabul? Can you fly into Kabul?
Now?
Yes.
Well, come on. We know what's going on in Kabul at the moment, isn't it?
So is Kabul a prison? So is Afghanistan a prison now?
Why would it be a prison now?
Because a place where you can't fly in is
Why can't I fly in there now?
I'm asking you.
No, why can't I fly in there now?
I'm asking you, can you fly into Kabul?
No, why can't I?
So tell me why.
All right, no, I can't. Why can't I? Oh, okay, why can't I?
Why?
Shut up long enough, I'll tell you.
Okay, you don't have to use foul language.
Well, I know.
Carry on.
I didn't use foul language.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't fly to Kabul right now because protecting the airport is US soldiers, and outside of Kabul are Taliban. Okay, now everyone's leaving at the moment. The US Army is facilitating people leaving. Okay, there will come a time when I can fly to Kabul. When the US have finally left and the Taliban have complete control, then you can fly to Kabul, yes. Right. When can I fly to Gaza?
What?
When can I fly to Gaza?
When they'll start behaving.
When they start behaving?
Yes. When Israel gave back Gaza, I'm actually, personally, I'm not a supporter of Israel, but when Israel gave back Gaza to the Palestinian people, it wasn't a prison. They turned it into a prison after they were using it as a springboard to attack Israel.
No,
if you know history,
all.
And it's not ancient history, it's modern history from the last 20 years.
Listen, you're acting like it's equal on each side. It's an occupied force.
I just told you something.
Absolutely. Listen. What happened in Nazi Germany is happening in Gaza.
I disagree with
difference.
I disagree with that comparison.
Complete difference.
Completely the same. That means that just tells us one thing.
What's that?
You might know what's going on in Gaza.
I don't know.
You have no idea what Nazi Germany was all about.
Why?
And shame on you.
If you can make this comparison.
Why not?
That's why.
Why not?
Why? If you make this comparison, you've told all the people standing here that you don't have an inkling about history or stuff that happened not 500 years ago, but 60, 70 years ago.
Yes.
That's it, simple.
I think it's the same.
What?
I don't see the difference.
Okay.
I see.
I see the treatment. You got a very warped mindset.
Why?
That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Because if you see a genocide of 6 million people for what they believe, let me finish. When you're going to talk about Germany and Nazi Germany and the Holocaust, I have the right to talk without being interrupted.
Why do you have the right to talk without being interrupted?
You know what? Interrupt and enjoy the conversation. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Alternative history.
Yeah. Gaza's not a prison. Yeah. Cheers, lads.
In what way? Sorry. In what ways?
I'm asking you one thing. Was Gaza a prison when Israel returned it? Just answer me that question. Yes or no?
Israel returned what? It didn't belong to them.
You didn't answer the question.
Okay. Israel are occupying land illegally. Why the international community is ignoring it, I don't know.
Particular subject about a prison. So if it was a prison.
Okay, what's a prison?
A place where you can't fly in with an airplane.
No, a prison is where you cannot leave and return at your own free will. Right, there you go.
So
job done.
Job done. Was the status in Gaza the same?
I thought you guys were going.
Was the status... I know you would like us to go now. It makes sense. All right, have a good one.
But in what way was why they got angry? In what way?
Why? Because I liken the way that the Israelis are treated the Palestinians is the way that they were treated in Nazi Germany. The same way. In the way that they... what do you mean? What examples? How were they treated in Nazi Germany?
Well, in the end, they were killed. But
no. How did it start? It didn't start that way, did it?
Yeah, it started
Hermann Göring, big noses,
discrimination.
cartoons. Yeah,
discrimination.
dehumanized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. So what happens? Once you dehumanize a people, yeah, you can do what you like to them. Why do you think when Israel were attacking Gaza, there was Israeli citizens all having parties watching the place burn? Burn, Gaza, burn.
There wasn't.
Wasn't it?
I mean, no.
No?
There was that, as much as that as there is of anything else.
There wasn't. There wasn't settees brought them to the mountain so they could see the blaze. Really?
Maybe there was. I don't know.
You don't see them celebrating when Masjid al-Aqsa was on fire.
Yeah. But actually, they weren't celebrating that because
I know. They were celebrating something else, which got caught up in that. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't mean they would do that. Whole celebration was because Masjid al-Aqsa was on fire.
Yeah.
They were celebrating some other particular day that was going on, and Masjid al-Aqsa happened to be on fire, and they joined in that.
Yeah.
What's the point?
But the question
is Gaza a prison or not?
Gaza is an open-air prison, yeah.
Is it an open-air prison?
It is, yeah.
We agree.
I don't disagree on that.
So what are you here to argue against?
I'm here to argue against basically what you said about the Nazis, how they treated the Jews, or Germany, how it treated the Jews.
Yeah, so if you look at Hermann Goering and what he did, the cartoons, the propaganda, all the pictures of cartoons with big noses and all this kind of stuff, creating this idea that these people will lessen you. Then you had them saying that they're threatening us economically after the First World War and all of this stuff and the Great Depression, and these are the people responsible. The Jews didn't help themselves by declaring economic war on Germany. They didn't help themselves in that aspect.
That's true.
But what's happened there is happening to the Muslims today. Yeah?
Where? Which Muslims?
All Muslims. Muslims in France. Muslims in France, right, where women are told to strip on the beaches. Yeah. Muslims in France, where young girls can't choose to wear a scarf yet they can have sex with a 15-year-old when they're 15. Yeah. This is what I'm saying to you. And I hear all these people going, "Oh, the Taliban! Oh, the Taliban! Oh, the women's rights! The women's rights!" Where's the rights of the women of France?
I agree with that.
Where's the compassion? Where's the call out? Where's all these feminists?
I agree with that.
Not even seen, mate. So the point here is this: this is double standards, and when double standards occur, this is what happens. You dehumanize the people, that you can do what you like with them.
Yeah. No, I think the reason why they're so upset, they probably had maybe ancestors who were killed in the Holocaust.
Okay, am I saying the Holocaust was a good thing? Am I
no, but
glorifying
you're comparing it to what's happening in Gaza. Although what's happening in Gaza is terrible, it's not. There's a lot of things like oppression, a lot of words, but one thing it isn't, and I disagree with, is the claim that a lot of people make, is genocide, which it isn't.
Oh, it's not genocide?
No.
Why not?
Because genocide is when you systematically kill a population.
Right. So when you go in with tanks and airplanes and say, who are you killing?
It hasn't gone in with tanks, actually.
They haven't gone in with tanks?
Not for a long time, no.
Oh, no, so they're going with F-16s instead?
No.
No?
No,
what are they going with?
It's mainly with airstrikes, actually.
All right, airstrikes, dropping bombs on who?
Yeah.
Killing who?
Terrorists, and a lot of people get killed.
Who said the terrorists?
I mean, call it what you like. But
no, I'll call it what you said it. Who said the terrorists?
I don't know if they're terrorists, as per se.
You see the dead bodies of women and children, you call them terrorists?
Not them.
Oh, not them. So how does the bomb discriminate who to kill?
It doesn't.
Right, so...
I never said it does.
So it is killing men, women and children indiscriminately?
Not indiscriminately.
Well, it is indiscriminate.
I don't know. It's killing them in order to kill Hamas militants.
Listen.
Yeah.
You speak to any Zionist, they want Gaza gone.
What do you mean gone?
Gone. They want the land. The Greater Israel. That's the plan.
Not true. Not all Zionists want that.
What's the Zionist plan?
First of all, you can't, and this is the problem that I saw lots of people make. You can't
Are you Jewish?
What?
Are you Jewish?
Doesn't matter what I am. What's that to do with it?
Okay, that's a yes. Well, carry on.
A lot of people hold Zionism and treat it like a religion. Let's say the religion of Islam, yeah? So if it says something in the Quran, if you say something against that, it means you're not Muslim, right?
Go on.
Yeah? But Zionists, if they say something against the doctrine of one of the founding fathers of Zionism, doesn't mean you're not a Zionist, because it's not a religion, Zionism. So you can't hold it to the same standard.
Oh, okay. What's the Zionist dream?
There's not one specific dream.
Is there not?
I would say by definition it means self-determination to Jewish people.
What countries are included in Greater Israel?
In Greater Israel?
In the plan?
It's until Mesopotamia.
To where?
Until Mesopotamia, no?
Where's that?
That's modern-day Iraq.
Right, and where Palestine is? In Gaza?
That as well.
That as well?
Yeah, but I would say most Zionists don't actually want all of that.
Well, forgive me. I've seen.
What have you seen?
I've seen the Zionists on the streets chanting this stuff.
Yeah, a few people.
No, crowds.
Crowds of a few people. There's 8 million people.
Public opinion.
There's 8 or 7 million.
I didn't see the crowds against it.
Actually, there are.
No, I didn't see the crowds.
Okay, but there are.
But I didn't see them.
Okay, so what? Doesn't mean that they're not.
Okay, so the Zionist plan is to occupy all that land. They've put them all into one place.
Which land? Not Greater Israel. That's not the Zionist plan. And most Zionists actually don't have those lofty aspirations.
Okay. Why are they building all the settlements in the West Bank when it's illegal?
That's supposed to be the government.
Why not?
And not all Zionists agree with the government either. Do you think that?
What's that?
That all Zionists agree with the Israeli government right now?
I have no idea what each individual person.
Exactly.
Right, I have no idea.
Okay.
Right. So what did I say? I just said,
Yeah.
if I was a victim of Nazi Germany,
Yeah.
I would not exact that treatment on the people of Gaza. That's me. If you would, you would.
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't say it's the same thing.
Well, I would say it is.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say Israel's plan is to kill every single person in Gaza.
Was it? No, just to drive them away.
What do you mean drive them away?
I don't know how. Who knows the plan? I don't know.
You just made that up though.
I don't know the plan.
To drive. Okay.
I don't know the plan.
then what
All
you
I know is that they use any excuse of self-defense to kill people, men, women, and children, and it's acted like it's a war when it's not. It's killing. It's genocide.
It's not
Nothing,
genocide.
It's genocide.
I disagree with that.
Well, I don't care what you believe.
But it's not.
And whether you disagree with me.
I understand. It's
Right.
about what's what. But how can you say it's genocide if the population of Palestinians, let's say since 1948 until today, has risen threefold almost? How do you claim that genocide?
Say it again.
The population of Palestinians in the country from 1948 or from, let's
What
say,
was the population in 1948 of Israel, of Palestinians?
But I don't know exactly.
Well, you're just acting like it's gone up.
It has.
Right, so what was it?
I don't know exactly.
So what is it now?
Now, all the Palestinians in the country, including,
All the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank.
including Israeli Arabs?
Yes.
Yes. Then it's about, you've got 3.5 million in the West Bank, 2 million in Gaza,
Right.
and about 1.9 million in Israel
Right.
proper, so to say. So it's about
6-7 million?
Yeah.
How many was it prior?
much less. So how can you say it's genocide?
How do you know it's much less? What was the number?
I don't know exactly. I can search up for you if you want, but
Yeah, go on.
it's maybe 2 million, something like that.
Search it up. Are you saying killing men, women, and children? What is genocide to you?
Systematic, trying to kill a whole population.
Right.
Systematically.
Okay.